Welcome to the Social Chameleon Show, where it's our goal to help you learn, grow, and transform into the person you want to become. Today, we're going to talk about opportunity cost, the loss of potential gain from other alternatives when one is chosen, a trade-off. You know, you do one thing and therefore you can't do another. It's something we don't think about when we do things. Like you buy a new car. So you go out and buy a new car, $500,000, $800,000, $1,000 a month car payment. Like, what can you not do now?
Yeah.
So it's like, there's the things that we want to kind of talk about.
Yeah, because most people, you're right, they just think about, oh, I'm going to get this new car. You know, this thing is totally worth it. It's awesome in every single way. And it's like, okay, $500 a month. Yeah, I can afford that. Let's do it. You know, but like we were talking a lot about some of the other episodes that we had, right? Like $200 a month. Like, what can they get you in, you know, 30, 40 years down the road, right? Like, those are the kind of things that we don't think about. We just think, oh yeah, you know, that, what is those famous words, that low down, low easy monthly payment. Right. Like, but all of that stuff adds up, you know, just yeah, go ahead.
No, and that's the thing, like with the last episodes we did. So, you know, 64, we're doing the retirement thing, and it's just, we're showing that just a few dollars a month, whatever, you know, I think we done down to like $100 a month. And then the last episode, when we did the latte factor, like all these different things kind of adding on, you know, stacking on each other. It's like these different little things, like it can add up to big things, you know, not only in maybe the extra money you have every month, or, you know, you're adding this more to your retirement. Maybe you're going on a vacation or something. Like, all these little things can like really add up to really big compounding things. And it's like, you know, you're like, oh, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to add another phone line to my plan. Oh, it's only $10 a month. And it's like, but then these things just start to like snowball. Like, oh, I'm going to get this extra thing. It's only $6 a month. Or like, you know, Netflix went up, so it's only $3 more. And then next thing you know, it's like, there's hundreds of dollars that suddenly just kind of added up to things. And we don't think about, like, what am I giving up by having all these things, or buying this new car, or buying maybe a house or something. And then we're not trying to tell you what you can and cannot do, but what we want you to do is think about, like, if I'm going to go out and get this new car, like I'm going to get a brand new car, I'm going to get that new Tahoe or whatever. It's like, that's $1,000 a month. Like, what am I not doing, or what can I not be doing to pay this, you know, car payment every month? Like, maybe you want to do other things, and it's like, well, maybe I can get a 16 instead of a 20, you know, like now I'm not paying $1,000. Maybe I'm only paying $500 a month, $600 a month for my car, or whatever it is that you're doing. And like, I was looking at my cell phone bill, and I hadn't looked at it in a while because I hadn't bought a new phone in a while. Yeah, and my cell phone plan was more expensive than the most expensive plan they even offer now. I was like, how long has this been going on that I've been paying more than anybody with the most duked out plan has? I was like, dang. And then I lowered my plan. It's like $30-something a month. I just saved it off the top. And I was like, now I have that extra to do something else with. I put that more money I can put away, more money for emergency fund or whatever it is I need to do.
Yeah, and like, you should check up on those things. Like, currently, you know, always go in, check what your credit card interest rate is, try to get that down. Check what your fees are on your accounts. Check there's the services that you're getting in general. I know the other day I started up, well, not the other day, maybe like a couple months ago, I started up my internet thing, and the lady told me, like, yeah, in like a year, your price is going to go up by like $20 or $30. I was like, she's already telling me that now, but like in like a year, I'm not going to remember that. So like, I want to just go back and check some of those things. And that brings up another point, you know, it's like, how many monthly services do you have? You got a gym membership? You know what I mean? You got Amazon Prime, you got Netflix, like you got all of these things that you have. Like, sometimes we get caught up with, you know, what we have, and it's just the thought of having it that makes us comfortable. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Maybe you're right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I hear that too. Like, well, yeah, I don't really go to the gym, but I can. Right. If I'm ever somewhere, like, I could take a shower, and it's like, is that, I mean, if it's worth that to you a month and you understand that and you've thought that, that's something different than kind of what we're talking about here of you're just doing things and not thinking about what I'm not having. Like, oh, I like the $30. I travel a lot. So, I like having a gym membership to all the gyms in the country. I can pop in, I could get a workout in, I could get a shower, I could get a massage, I could tan, whatever it is you do. Like, that's one thing, but yeah, it's so easy to have. I see apps and services now that like go through all your monthly subscriptions and tell you like what all these things you're subscribed to. Do you want them all? We'll help you unsubscribe. It's like, that's becoming a problem. Like, how many times, like I was doing all these episodes makes me think about these things a lot. And so I was like, okay, what do I have? Like, I've got Netflix and I've got Amazon Prime. It's like, do I need both?
Yeah.
And Amazon just went up. The price is whatever, when mine renewed, it's like $130 or something like that. It's like, am I getting the value out of this? What else could I be doing this? Do I need these extra things? Like, and that's what we just kind of want to bring that to light and you to think about that.
Right. And then a lot of these things too is like, this can even go for some of the services that you have. It's like, you're paying X dollars a month for cable. Cable's a great example. Most people pay hundreds of dollars a month, hundreds of dollars a month for your cable, internet, and phone altogether, just because they say you're getting a deal. But in reality, for the price that you pay for cable, I mean, if you just have internet, that might be $30-$70 a month, maybe, and then from there, the services we're talking about, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, whatever, so you can get the Fire Stick, like all of these services can kind of sometimes make up for that cable bill, and it's a lot cheaper, So again, like I know sometimes it's a little hard to think of new things or come up with these ideas, but that's just the part where sometimes you think about it. It's like, my cable bill is $220 a month. Like, what else could I be doing with that money? What could that get me? And I guess kind of think about like some people, they work these long hours, right? Here in Hawaii, like we work 2 or 3 jobs just to make it here. So it's like, you're taking all this time to spend on this extra job. And then from there, just so we can afford all of these services, it's like, when you start thinking about your time and what that's worth, that gets into another interesting trade-off. It's like you're trading all your time at work so that you can have this nice car. It's like, did you really need that nice car? Or maybe you can take more time off of work and do some of the things that you enjoy. I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of, again, we're talking about bringing awareness to things that you're trading off in your life that you may not be aware of.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, do you have this second job now to afford these things? Maybe you do or don't want it. Maybe this is just kind of something that happened and snowballed and, all these things crept up. Now you don't get to maybe spend time with your family, or you don't get to go surfing, or you don't get to go to jiu-jitsu or whatever other hobbies you had in the past. Now you got to have this second job so you can afford these things. Like all these things, like we don't think about, and it's not something that just kind of happens in our minds. All these other things you're giving up, like sacrificing sleep. Like a lot of people think that's like, okay, and then, so it's like, okay, well, I got to work 2 jobs so I can afford this lifestyle. So, I can only sleep 4 hours a night now. Well, now you're really getting into some trouble there, and it's like, and it's hard to, because we get used to that. And you're like, well, I'm fine. I can function on that. And it's like, but you can't, and it's hard because
there is that caveat. There are a few people.
There's a very small percentage of people that can do it, and
built that way, but
right. And odds are you're not one of them. You think you may be, but you're not. But, and then that catapults into other things. You're not sleeping good. You're not sleeping enough.'re not recovering. Well, you're making shitty. Now that you're not sleeping well, you're not doing that. Now you're making crappy meal decisions. When you're tired and you're stuff like that, you're more likely to eat junk food. Well, guess what? Now you're eating that shitty food. You're not sleeping good, and you're probably not working out. And if you were working out, like, well, I got to cut something out of my life, and the gym's not happening. And all of a sudden, like all these things like start to snowball. All these things start to happen, and you all for what? Like some things you're like you don't think about. We didn't plan for this stuff, and all these different things happen. You have this second job, not afford these things, or whatever it be. and all these opportunities, all these things, you're making all this money and sacrifice your health. So then at the end, you've got to spend all this money to get back your health.
Yeah. And not everybody's in that position where, you work 2 or 3 jobs. I just bring that up because I, live in a high income area where, you need that much money to survive. I don't know if you guys have checked the news lately, but I think it's like if you make $66,000 a year in Hawaii, which for most people, like you can live off that in most states.
That's higher than the continental United States average.
But 66,000 a year in Hawaii is like poverty. Like
right.
That's low income.
Right. Which is why I moved.
Right. But, for those of you out there that, if you don't have a second job, again, you're spending all this money on either cable or Netflix or whatever it is you're doing. And like, you just go home and binge watch. It's like, do you realize what your time is costing you?
Yeah.
It's like you sit down on the watch. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love me some Game of Thrones or whatever the case is going to be out there. But, the time that it takes, it's all right, man. Winter's coming for you, Tyson. Winter's coming for you.
Never heard of it.
It's just like, but the time that is spent there, you know what I mean? Like I know people, because Game of Thrones is it's kind of one of those things that's addictive. I've turned a lot of people onto it and they watch it, and it's like, yeah, I'm on season 3 already. And it's like, wait a minute, there's 10 episodes a season.
I told you 2 days ago about this.
Each an hour long. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you put in 30 hours of watching TV last week, in addition to the 40 hours that you worked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, again, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I love Game of Thrones. It's great. But at the same time, it's like, if you put some time and thought behind that, it's like you just spent so many hours doing X, Y, Z, whatever that's going to be, shopping, video games. I mean, I don't know, whatever you want to do. But those hours can be put into getting a side hustle or doing a second job or reading a book to learn about something that you can do. Like, your time is also an investment. It's not just the money that you have that counts. What you do with your time, can make the difference in your life in the future. So anything to add on to that there, Mr. Tyson?
No, but that's the things. That's why I really wanted to do this episode. This is all these things we just don't think about. And a lot of stuff becomes habit or becomes whatever. Or sometimes we do these things, as a vice to escape our life or whatever. We go on vacations, or we do these things, or we go in these. If I'm playing a video game, if I'm watching a show, that's just not my life. I can, insert myself into X, and I can hide from my problems, or I can hide from the fact that I'm working so much and I just can't get ahead, and all these things.
Yeah.
And if we step back and we look at this, like, oh, why am I working a second job to go on this vacation to escape my life? Well, can you escape your life where you are, or can you change your life so that you don't have to escape from it?
Yeah, we were talking the other day offline and stuff, and I was like, I hear a lot of people, and again, this is in any job that I've had, like from even when I was young till the current present day. It's like, oh yeah, saving up money, we're gonna go on this vacation, and it's like, okay, you're gonna go on this vacation to, I don't know what that is, but for me, it's like when I go to work, I enjoy the job that I do. Like when I go to work, that's a vacation from my life. Just kind of ironic. And I don't know if a lot of people understand that about me when I'm in the healthcare industry. It's like I go there, I love it, I enjoy what I do. And, it's not about the money per se. Yes, money is a benefit of that job that I enjoy and love doing, but I can make a lot more money in real estate. Yet I don't choose to do that. The same thing I'm doing with my time here on this show. It's like I'm spending time here. I'm not necessarily making millions of dollars making this podcast, but to me, this podcast has a little bit more to it than me. It's like this podcast brings me happiness. For those of you out there, we spell happiness with a Y. It's just how it's spelled, and that brings us to maybe our third topic is like, what are, what are you trading as far as your happiness goes? We're talking about all these things like working long hours, or maybe just, you can't wait till Friday to punch out of your job. Like, it's like, do you really spend 5 days a week not liking your job? It's like, what's the trade-off on your happiness for that? I don't know. But you got thoughts about that, Tyson?
Yeah. And that is a thing that it really happens a lot. And a lot of times when you talk to people like that, or when you hear it, or when you're experiencing it, it's like, you kind of get stuck there, like I took this job because it was good money, or it fit with my schedule, or whatever it is. And then 5, 10, 15 years later, you're like, fuck. But then now you're so deep. Well, I got this car payments, I got this mortgage, I got this rent, or whatever. I got student loans, I got my kids. And it's like, now you're stuck in this job. It's like, I have to bring this money home, right, because I need to pay for these bills. It's different things. So there it is again, like the opportunity cost there, It's like, so if you want to get out of that job, like, what do you need to do? What maybe short-term sacrifices do you need to make? Or what do you need to eliminate from your job? Or what do you need to do to get back that money, or that time, or get rid of that stress, whatever it is? Like, you've got to sit back and say, okay, what am I giving up, here to do this? Like, how can I get out of this? Like, there's so many opportunities out there. So many things we can do nowadays, especially with the world is so wide open. Like, you don't have to have a shit job you hate. Like, you despise going to bed Sunday night because Monday's coming. Like, you throw a party every Wednesday because we're almost done. And you're running at 4:59 to the clock to punch out to get the fuck out of there. Like, that isn't a life you should live. Like, and when we stop to take a look real quick at it and say, it's hard when you're in it, when you're there, when you're in the jar, it's hard to read the label. It's tough. Like, you can't, maybe you don't see a way out or whatever, but like, when you take a step back and you take the time to think about, like, okay, how do I get the fuck out of here? Like, I need this money. Okay, why do I need this money? I have these things. Can we start knocking those off and eliminating those, so you can maybe go to back to school, or go to another job, or, quit that shit and just stay home with your kids? Like, what do you want to do? But you got to think about that. You got to take that time to say, what are you going to do here?
Yeah. And again, these are all trade-offs, right? Like, we trade off our time so that we can get money, so that we can buy things that make us happy. Yet, if the job you're going to doesn't make you happy, like that, it's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange.
Yeah. And a lot of times when we buy these things, it's like, you're happy it's fun for what? A day, a week, maybe a month, and it's like, and then it's on to the next thing. Oh, what's the next thing I want to get? What's the next thing I get? But yet you're probably still paying off that thing. Or now it's sitting in your house. Now, guess what? You have to store this. You gotta go get shelves. You gotta get containers. You gotta get closet space. Maybe we need a bigger house. We don't have enough storage. It's like, well, but maybe we need to think about these things. Like, why do we not have enough storage? Why do we need a bigger house? Maybe we can get rid of some stuff. Like, all these things to think about. We're not, like I said before, we're not trying to tell you what you should do, what's valuable in your life and not valuable in your life. That's up to you. What we want to talk about is, we're trying to convey here is, what are you giving up for that?
Yeah. Like, what are you trading off? Yeah. And at the same time, we talked, I guess, in the previous episodes, like Latte Factor, and before that, talking about retirements. And I mean, like, you're making investments with your money, but we can also talk about things like making investments of your time. Yep. There's a lot of millennials out there who just believe that school is the way to go because that's just what their parents have drilled into them. So commercials are teaching nowadays and putting it out there. Son, if you're watching this, good job. And, you know what I mean? Like, if you go to college, that's great if that's what you want to do. But you got to understand, like, when you go to college, that's a commitment of your time. You know what I mean? Like, a bachelor's degree is 4 years of your life. Yeah, 4 years of your life.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but sometimes you can get scholarships and stuff to get it, the money out there. But the time that's spent getting that, like, and if you take that even further, right, because I'm in the medical field, like, you want to be a doctor, like, you're going to be even more years, maybe up to 10 years, right? Or lawyers, like, you want to put 7 years into an investment of your future. It's like, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. That's what you want to do. Get out there, go do it, but a lot of people don't think like what they can. I mean, let's just take 10 years, for example. Tyson, did you know what you were doing? Did you know you would be here right here and now 10 years ago?
Oh God, no. I never would have came up in any plan I could have schemed up or devised or anything. Right. Nothing. I have no idea.
It's like, you know, you're committing to something that's going down the road, and you're going to invest your time, your money, and sometimes it might even be your happiness. You might hate those years in school. You know, you're giving up all these 3 things for something that's going to be in the future. But, you know, most people don't think about if they could make things the way they wanted to, like what could you accomplish in 10 years? You know, like I don't know if people know the true value of time and what they can accomplish in 10 years. Like, I think people are capable of extraordinary things, like beyond their wildest imaginations. But, you know, they got to sit down and they got to dedicate the time, you know? So I don't know. It's just an interesting concept. It's like you're giving up years of your life to accomplish something, you know, but what would you be missing with those years? And is that going to be worth it? Right? In the end, is that going to make sense to you? I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of times, you know, I've talked to many people that like they've gone to college, they've gone to school, they've gone to a career because that's what their family said or their parents or whatever it be, and that's what's expected of me. Yeah. And you've just wasted. And let's just throw costs out of it, you know.
Yeah.
You wasted 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15 years getting a degree, getting into the field, finally making it to someplace, and you're just miserable because, you know, somebody else told you to do that, or you never thought through the whole process. Like, you know, I want to make doctors going to fun. I'm going to make a bunch of money. And it's like, you didn't really think like, do I want to just be taught this for 10 years? And even after that, you still can't even go do your own thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's still more to that. And there's still all these other, you know, hidden aspects of the job or career, whatever it is you're doing that you're not even seeing at the moment. All these things you're not going to be able to maybe do or whatever, versus if you would have, let's say your family made you be a doctor. You spent 10 years doing that, but you really wanted to be an electrician or a plumber or a computer programmer. Like, you know, if you would have, you know, spent those 10 years doing that, you could easily make the same amount of money, or you could live a good, rich, fulfilled life with less money. You know, it's easy to get caught up in that thought of, oh, more money is going to solve my problems. More money is going to change things. It just doesn't.
Especially in America.
Yeah.
You think the more that you have, you know, I guess we talk about the latte factor too. It's like, you know, the more money you make, like the richer you're going to be. But, you know, that's a myth. The more money you make, usually the more money you spend.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's kind of ironic. And, you know, it's like, I don't know. To me, I just don't think enough people think about what they're giving up. You know, they either are just going through the motions, or are doing what their parents told them to do, or, you know, and I don't know. I mean, I guess I just wasn't that way ever since I was young. My dad always told me, it's like, Ransom, I could never, like, you would never give me the opportunity to do anything, you know, to reward you for anything. Cause you would be good just for a little bit. And then you would just go off and do whatever you wanted to do. That's, you know, that wasn't right. And I'm like, I guess, I don't know. I got a hard head.
Yeah.
But, you know, for those people out there, you know, if you're investing your money, or it's not even gonna say investing, if you're spending your money on things, you know, trying to fill the gap of your happiness, if you're out there, you know, investing time in something that you don't truly believe in, you know, it's like it's something that was told to you or something out there, you know what I mean? And for those of you that are definitely giving up your happiness, or whatever that is, like you're working somewhere, or you're in a situation that you're just constantly not happy, like, you know, there are alternatives. You know, if you take some time to figure out, you know, where your dollars are going or where your time is going, you know, if you focus and make something a priority in your life, you will, you know, invest those dollars and invest your time in the right spot to make your life happier in the way that you want. And sometimes the answer is not always the obvious one. Sometimes Sometimes it's the answer at the bottom of the bin. Like you just got to dig through all the bad answers to, and try them out before you find the right one. But I don't know. I truly believe that it's out there. Everybody can have everything. Well, maybe not everything, but everybody can have the things that they want.
You can have everything. It's just what are you giving up? And that's the thought. That's the thing you got to say. I'm going to do this. What am I going to give up? And I think going through that thought exercise and understanding, it's not to vilify anything or buying stuff or hustling or whatever you're doing. Just understanding, like, I love X. I love this hobby. I love my job, whatever it is. And I'm going to spend a lot of time there. And that's, I know that I'm going to give up this time doing other things with my family or with whatever, it's just understanding that and thinking through that. Like, I've fallen for the trap 1,000 times and I probably fall for another 1,000. Like I'm like, ooh, $30 a month. That sounds fun. Like I can knock that out. It's easy, and it's like, and it's designed that way. But it takes time. It takes training. It takes effort to say, okay, do I need this thing? Like, if I don't have the cash to get it, like I shouldn't be financing this or whatever, like to think that through, like, what am I going to give up to get this thing or to do this thing that's going to be excellent. It's like, we throw time away so easily. Like, if somebody walked on the street and just snatched your purse or snatched your wallet or took $10, $100 from you, you'd fucking throw a fit. You'd throw a fit. But you'll stand there and shoot the shit and bullshit around for half an hour, not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
So it's like we gotta protect our time, and everybody deserves to be happy, and you gotta protect that. You've got to make that a priority in your life. And there's a lot of things that go into that. And it starts with you. If you're not doing what you need to do, nobody's going to make you happy. Nobody's going to bring that to you. It starts with you. It comes from within yourself, and you've got to work on that. And you've got to make that a priority in your life, just like making money and going to work is. You got to make what you're doing with your time a priority. You got to make your happiness a priority, and whatever else other priorities you want in your life. Not what other people tell you, not what other people force upon you. You've got to understand what you're going to do and what you're going to give up to do it.
Yeah. And for those of you out there, you may have everything figured out. You know what I mean? You spend your time well, you're happy with things that you do, and you invest your money. And like, if that's it for you, that's great. And I'm here to tell you that I think you can do more than what you're currently doing. You can be happier. You can invest your money or, spend your time a lot more wisely than you are now. And I challenge you to do so. And I guess, I don't know, I kind of want to maybe give some tips out there. I don't know. I feel like, and not that this is a downer, but sometimes, this can be a touchy subject, and maybe it's easier, for people just listening to this video. Like, if you don't write comments, I mean, I understand, but if you're thinking about it, it's like, some people are unhappy and some people are frustrated because they don't know where to spend their time, or, you're like, dang, Tyson's right, man. Like, I keep buying this new car every 6 years. Like, why am I doing that? Like, what I mean, it's like, I don't know. But for happiness, I guess I can maybe make the suggestion. Like, happiness, if you want a little bit more happiness, one of my suggestions out there is get in touch with an old friend. A friend that you've known for like a long time, somebody that, is out there, and like, when you guys are away for a while, it's okay. But when you reconnect, like, it's like you guys never left. Like, you just touch in there and it's like, oh, we picked up right where we left off. In my experience, the human part of us is about relating and sharing with one another, making that connection, making a connection with, another human being. That's kind of what we're good at. So, if you are wondering where or how to get happiness back in your life, make a connection with an old friend. Try to get out there and just say hello and try to touch bases. I think that's a good way for happiness. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to share some positive stuff out there.
Yeah.
You got a tip for some of these people out here as far as money or time, Tyson?
Yeah. If you don't know what to do, if you're stuck, if you're like, yeah, I hear you guys, like, I wish I had more time, but I got to work the second job because I've already committed to these things. Like, go find somebody that you can either talk this through with, or an expert that can help you start to, come up with a strategy and start implementing tactics. It's one thing, maybe before this episode started, you had no idea. You never knew. Guess what? You know now. That excuse is over with. Now it's time to take action. It's the time to take the next step. Yeah. Whether it's getting on Google, getting on YouTube and looking at things, listening to experts and, different subject matters that you're struggling with, take that next step. Go find whoever that next step is, wherever that next step is. Even if it's just talking it through with somebody that you can have an open, honest conversation with, and they're going to give you open, honest feedback. Even if it's just that, you say, hey, hey, bud, I learned this new thing. I kind of want to talk through it. Like, I don't know if you know or not, but can we just talk? Can you help me talk through this real quick? I'm thinking about some stuff, and just go through that. If that's just the least you do, I really recommend getting out there and looking at experts in these different things, or somebody that's a professional in this thing that can really help accelerate you with a good, solid, proven strategy. And then once you have this strategy laid out, you can start implementing the different tactics and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
And anything else? Any other opportunities we want to express?
No, I mean, I just want to put out some positive vibes out there. It's like, you may think you got everything going on, and you may be happy, and you may be spending your time and your money well. Just take some time to sit down and think about everything that's going on. And it's like, I bet you could find a way to just improve. And again, this show is all about just improving by that little 1%. Go look through your finances real quick and be like, hey, what am I spending that money on there? That doesn't look familiar to me. And even if you just look at it the first time, because you don't know what you're spending, like, you look at it 1 month and then you look at it the next month, it's like you can start to see the difference. It's like, hey, that's new. I mean, like, pay attention to these things, because that's half the battle. But yeah, I don't know. To me, I guess that's kind of just where I'm at. I don't think I have anything else to say on this subject matter. Make it nice and sweet.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're looking for something to help, maybe give you ideas, accelerate, whatever, check out this month's giveaway. We're always out there looking for stuff to help you grow that 1%, like we're talking about, to help you learn about new things, help make your life that little bit better. See what we got going on. Visit thesocialchameleon.show/pickme. Get entered into this month's giveaway. Find out what we got going on to help you accelerate your life, help you in whatever way we can find. And then this week's challenge, what is the opportunity costing you? I want you guys to take a few minutes, think about the different things in your life. You can start with the 3 categories that we kind of base off of: money, time, and happiness. What are the things that you're doing currently not allowing you to do that maybe you want to be doing? If you're spending too much money, maybe we can look up for a way to cut that out. If you're spending too much time at work or whatever, and you don't want to be doing that, figure that out. If you're not happy, let's start figuring this out. What are the things you're doing now not allowing you to be doing that you want to be doing? And that's this week's challenge.
All right. And then just taking us to our final thoughts, we just want to bring awareness to some of the things that you may be missing out on in your life. Everything comes at a cost, right? Watching this video comes at a cost. Buying that food comes at a cost. Even when you go to sleep, it costs you something. Yeah. Be aware of what opportunities are out there, and make sure that you're not missing those opportunities because you're investing your money or your time or sacrificing your happiness in other things.
And if you know somebody that you think could learn from this, or could be a insight to them, share this with them. Let everybody know what's going on. Share this with at least 2 of your friends and family. You want to help support the show. The best way is, leaving likes and reviews, sharing this, letting us know what you think, letting us know if you have questions or ideas or whatever it is. Let us know. Shoot us a message. In between shows, you guys can connect with us all week long at the Social Chameleon Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and the favorite podcast app you got. And for past episodes and links to everything we talk about here today, you can visit thesocialchameleon.show. And until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep transforming into the person you want to become.